We're here today with Philippa Gregory, who's the author of The Other Boleyn Girl, among many other books. Thanks so much for being here. It's a total privilege to be able to talk to you today.
I'm really pleased to be here, thank you.
This is a story about Anne Boleyn and her sister Mary, Mary being the narrator of the story. Mary is also a person who, over the hundreds of years of history, has rarely been discussed or talked about. How did you discover the character of Mary?
I wasn't really looking for her. I was doing research into the Tudor Navy. I thought I wanted to write a novel set in the Tudor period, something about the seafaring and the movement of Britain, like over the waters, really. And I came across this account of a ship being launched, and the name of the ship was Mary Boleyn. And I had so much not heard of her, like really everybody else, that I thought that's got to be wrong. That should surely be Anne Boleyn, you know, of whom I have heard. And I was in a library. I looked up her name because I was there, and there she is, but she's not in the historical record very much. She's in the footnotes, so she, you know, most histories mention her. But Henry had other lovers. I mean, she doesn't make any big difference to England. She's not like Anne, whose marriage causes a Reformation. She's just a woman that he had for a few years and then put to one side. But the more I found out about her, the more interesting I found she was.
So how do you know when you're going down this historical path and you're getting a little bit more excited about this sort of unknown person and you're starting to, you know, feel like there's something here? How do you know I have a story? And this is something no one's done, and I can't wait.
I think the real breakthrough moment was I was reading around, and then I found that she had written, of all of the letters she may have written in her life, we have only one. And that's because Thomas Cromwell, Henry's secretary, kept it, which is just, you know, thank God for that man. And it's when she's left court, Anne's become queen, and she leaves court and just disappears from the record. We really don't know much about what she does. But she wrote this letter to Thomas Cromwell explaining. And she says, "For well might I have had a better man of birth and nobler, but I dare swear, not one that would have loved me, nor that I would have loved more. I would rather be married to him than the greatest queen christened." And I read that letter and I went, this is a woman choosing her own lover, her own husband, at a time when women simply aren't allowed to do that. This is an extraordinary woman.
Well, that's an exciting moment to sort of realize you got something there.
It's a eureka moment.
Yeah.
It's the one you wait all your life for as a researcher.
A lot of studies today of Anne Boleyn have her as almost an icon, of somebody who, because she resisted the king, was really one of the sort of early feminists in an era when there was no such thing. And yet in your book, the character of Mary really is more positioned as that sort of person who left the court and all of the standing that came along with that to sort of chase a life that made her more happy. It's sort of a contrarian position to some degree. Do you see it the same way, that you see her more as the heroic or?
I do. I mean, I think what she does is she takes a genuinely independent choice, which is independent not just of what her family wants, but of what the social tradition wants. It's a revolutionary choice. I think she's unique in that. There aren't very many women in Tudor society who take that sort of risk for their own personal growth and their own personal happiness. Anne is undeniably an interesting character. You know, she's incredibly courageous, but I wouldn't regard her as, you know, a heroine in the sense that she's utterly unscrupulous, and her intention is purely her own satisfaction of her own ambition and to satisfy the greed and ambition of her family. She pays for it cruelly. It's, you know, it's absolutely wrong that she should have been executed. You know, that maybe makes her a victim, but it doesn't necessarily make her a heroine.